If you want to buy cheap, reliable NBA 2K19 MT, please go to dvdj.com. Use the code CRUSH, and if you're not familiar with the process, you can contact them on Twitter. Both links will be in the description. What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we're here to start our predicting the off-season series. If you guys have been longtime fans of the channel, you guys know what this is like. I basically predict most realistically as possible what I think this team will do in the offseason. The team we're doing today is the Hornets, who their game is still going, but they are going to lose to the Magic, it looks like. They might come back, but the Pistons look like they're going to beat the Knicks, so the Hornets will not be making the playoffs, and then Miami lost, so the Hornets will finish as the 9th seed. So what we'll do is we'll go from the Hornets as a 9th seed, and then we'll go to the Kings as a 9th seed, and then we'll probably go to the Heat as a 10th seed, and so on and so forth. And we're just going to be doing predicting the offseason of those teams until we get teams eliminated from the playoffs. So definitely very interesting. Ignore the record down below at 40 and 42. The Magic could, the Hornets could still definitely win this game, but moral of the story, they didn't make the playoffs, which is the good part. So 40 and 42, whatever, that's neither here or nor there. They didn't make the playoffs. That's the important part. So these playoffs should be interesting, that's for sure. But we're here to talk about the Charlotte Hornets. Like I said, this isn't going to be exact. This isn't going to be like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and sign, or I'm going to sign, let's say I sign Jeremy Lin. I'm not saying the Hornets are signing Jeremy Lin. Like, if role players like that, it's not as important. Like, you can't predict that. You can't predict all that. But as the Hornets GM, I'm going to step in the Hornets GM shoes, basically, in a way. And I'm going to think, like him, what I think the Hornets might do. And I could be totally wrong, so let me know what you guys' predictions are about the Hornets this offseason. But we do this one offseason, simulate a full season, see what happens. These videos aren't rebuilds. They're basically predicting the offseason. And in a way, they're a little bit rebuilds because I do some moves in the offseason. But other than that, not really much of anything. But basically, I took Kemba out of the last game to try in order to lose that game because it looks like the Hornets were going to lose, but that didn't work. We still won. But we didn't make playoffs, which was that was the important part. So the big story for the Hornets is Kemba Walker, obviously. So what are the Hornets going to do with Kemba Walker? Are they going to re-sign him or what? Or is he going to go somewhere else? Now, the fact that the Hornets are missing the playoffs is going to play a big factor, I think, in Kemba's decision. But I know Kemba is a loyal guy, so I don't know, man. But we are probably going to end up with a 14th pick. 14th pick, which is good. We got the staff signing James Barango. I don't expect them to fire him. He's just a brand new head coach, and they almost made the playoffs, so probably not gonna worry about that. And then the staff's not as important because we're really just worried about the head coach. That's the only position we'll really address in the predicting the offseason series. And then we are just basically gonna go straight to the draft. So we have the 15th pick. I honestly think it's very obvious, depending on how the Hornets go about this. If they get reassurance that Kemba is staying, they might get aggressive and trade their first round pick. But if there's any assurance that Kemba is leaving, then I think they would be smart and would draft, I would think, and just start to rebuild this team from the ground. That's basically your choice. It's basically, what is Kemba doing and what are the Hornets going to do from there? So I have not decided yet in my head what I'm going to build this upon. Now, if I'm the Hornets GM, and Michael Jordan, it seems like, has been very vocal about keeping Kemba Walker long term. And I'm going to try. I think I'm going to try to keep Kemba Walker. But I don't know, man. I'm going to send him to this pick because I think the Hornets will draft. I don't think the pick will be traded because I have a feeling that the fact that the Hornets are going to miss the playoffs, it might impact Kemba's decision quite a bit. We do have 19 trade offers, so I'll go ahead and entertain them. Why not? So, like I said, we could get aggressive and trade a 14th pick overall for like Mike Conley or something like that and pair somebody up with Kemba, but I just don't think that's very likely. So we're going to choose a prospect here. Now, I don't know who will slip all the way to 15, and whoever I draft may not be who the Hornets get in real life, so please do not get mad at me if I draft Bol Bol and they don't even get Bol Bol. It is literally just, I'm just saying the Hornets probably will be drafting here around 14, 13, something like that. Trey Jones, Romero Langford, Bruno Fernando, Jackson Hayes. But when I think of the Hornets and what they need, they did address the forward spot. They got Malik Monk. They have Miles Bridges, like I said. The center spot is kind of iffy. I mean, Cody Zeller, you could argue maybe. Willie Hurton Gomez might turn into something. But Maybe the Hornets go Bol Bol here out of Oregon. I'm going to take him here just because I think he's like the best player available. And they have Devontae Graham, so I don't know. We could go Romero Langford as well. But I'm going to go Bol Bol here, 7-3 out of Oregon. I think that is the best available talent left in the draft. So if I'm the Hornets and you still don't know about, Kemba Walker's decision, you go best player available. And maybe Bol Bol isn't that because I don't watch much college, but that's about what you'd get possibly. So Bol Bol, I'll take him. And then the second round picks didn't matter as much to me. So we got player options. Tony Parker. I really don't expect Tony Parker to return this team. I don't think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, maybe he could. We got MKG accepting Willie Hernangomez. I would expect him to bring him back. Like I said, this Hornets team is not going to have a lot of money to do anything. And it's really going to suck for them. Frank Kaminsky, who started playing very well towards the end of the season. I think the Hornets would like to bring him back, obviously. But other than that, guys, the Hornets, like I said, it's one or two ways. The Hornets could just be like, you know what, we're just going to stay the course, try to sign Kemba and be fine, right? Or they could get super aggressive and try to trade all these players, try to get as much cap as possible, which is probably the unlikely scenario just because of how bad of contracts they have. But as far as the Hornets GM is concerned, I honestly think that if I was the Hornets GM, and I think Kemba Walker could possibly do this, is I think Kemba Walker might re-sign with the Hornets to get that max contract. And I wouldn't give him a no trade clause because we could see a Blake Griffin scenario where the Hornets give Kemba this contract and then he gets traded. So like I said, Kemba's probably going to get a max from the Hornets, so I'm giving him as much money as I can. 5 years, he's going to get the biggest offer he can. I think if he were to stay with Charlotte, it's going to be the biggest offer there is. So Kemba Walker going to go ahead and sign him to that. And basically, that's all we can do. Jeremy Lamb, if I'm signing Kemba Walker back, I want to bring back Jeremy Lamb, who was very good on this team. So we try to go for him if he's still out here. I'm going to go for Jeremy Lamb. So Jeremy Lamb, we'll try to re-sign him. Frank Kaminsky, like I said, we're probably going to try to re-sign him as well. I think this is something that the Hornets will be faced with, is just doing this stuff. So, you're getting players on cheaper contracts, not going crazy. So Kemba, Jeremy Lamb, and Frank Kaminsky, and of course it's going to give him that 1 year deal, but I don't care, whatever. So we're only doing one season, like I said. So once we got Kemba on the roster now, when you're thinking about it, you got negative 46 million in cap space. You got all this money, like I said, 46 million, but you just signed Kemba. So the fact that I signed Kemba, I think the Hornets would try to get aggressive and get someone next to him. Now, who that star is, I have no clue, or if there even is a guy out there that you can get next to Kemba Walker. I don't know if there's a team that's ready to give up on a star. Maybe Kevin Love could make sense in a lot of ways, and I actually think I'm going to try to do something like that. I mean, I'm not saying Kevin Love's coming to the Hornets. It's just like, I feel like the Hornets are going to be aggressive if they were to get Kemba and try to get someone like that. Maybe even Hassan Whiteside would make sense, but I'm going to go for Kevin Love in this situation because Cleveland is a team that might be looking to move on from Kevin Love soon. So why not? Why not go all in? If you're going to resign Kemba, let's try to do something. So Nicholas Batum for Kevin Love straight up. Obviously, that's not going to work. So we're probably going to have to trade our 2020 pick or something like that. Maybe even Malik Monk in this situation next. And then maybe the Cavaliers find value getting Malik Monk next to Colin Sexton. We could try that, and they still don't want to do that. So how about we throw in like Willie Selena Gomez as well? And they agree. So something like that could be something we could see from the Hornets. Now, like I said, I will repeat myself once again. I'm not saying Kevin Love's going to the Hornets this offseason. It's just like one of those guys you can see the Hornets trying to go after a star that maybe a team is ready to give up on. Like Hassan Whiteside, Kevin Love, maybe even like, I don't know who else is out there potentially, but like I said, maybe not LaMarcus Aldridge, but Marc Gasol was a guy they're ready to get. Maybe they even go after Mike Conley. I don't know. Play Mike Conley and Kemba in the backcourt together. So, like I said, this is something the Hornets could do. It may not even be something they do at all, but it is a interesting scenario. Like I said, we did draft Bol Bol. They have all these centers on the roster, and we have a 9-man rotation nonetheless. So, I think this is something you will see from the Hornets. Either they don't get Kemba and they start to rebuild, or they get Kemba and they try to get aggressive and try to make the team around him better, because Kemba's not getting any younger. So we're gonna go with that. I think that this was a pretty successful kind of prediction, realistically as possible, off-season rebuild. So Kemba Walker and Kevin Love, let's see how those two do together. I'm not saying it's going to lead to a championship or anything, but you know what? It might compete in the East just a little bit, and then you could maybe even get more aggressive at the trade deadline or something and try something else. So, like I said, maybe we'll stop at the trade deadline. I'm not sure yet, but we're just going to watch and see how this team does, and very excited. I think this is the first offseason prediction series, so we're probably going to be doing the Kings next, so make sure you guys are looking out for that. But we do have Miles Bridges still, which I don't see them trading Miles Bridges, of course. But like I said, the center position is very bad. I'm going to go with the 9-man rotation. We got Kemba Walker, Jeremy Lamb, Miles Bridges, Kevin Love. They want to start Bismack Biyombo. I'm honestly thinking about going with Bol Bol instead. I'm going to probably just go ahead and start Bol Bol. No reason to have Bismack Biyombo, I feel like, in the rotation. I don't think he's going to bring value, long-term value. We have a lot of centers, that's for sure. We can move MKG back to small forward, maybe. He goes up to an 81, so I don't know, something like that. Although I do want to start Miles Bridges, so like I said, we'll have to just wait and see kind of thing. Give Miles Bridges about 30 minutes, and then let's give Bol Bol back his starting spot. Something like that. Cody Zeller, Frank the Tank. A lot of small forwards come off the roster. Dwayne Bacon could play, like, I don't know, point guard or something. I don't know. But Frank Kaminsky, going to move him back to power forward, and we should be good there. So, like I said, we're just going to see how this team does, guys, and not expecting a whole lot. Maybe the Hornets get a little bit more aggressive than I expect them to this offseason, but it should be interesting. That's all I got to say about it. So, I'm going to simulate this first season, or not even this season. Let's see how this Hornets team does. Might stop at the trade deadline. I don't know yet, but definitely something we could see from the Hornets this offseason is kind of a offseason like that. At the end of the season, Russell Westbrook wins MVP. Zion Williamson wins Rookie of the Year on the Knicks. Fitting, very fitting. 6th Man of the Year goes to Spencer Dinwiddie. Giannis wins Defensive Player, and Most Improved goes to DeAndre Ayton. And we got Mike D'Antoni winning Coach of the Year. Here are your All-NBA first teams, All-NBA second team, All-NBA third team, All-Defensive first team, and All-NBA or the All-Defensive second team. There's your rookie team. So, we didn't make the playoffs, 37-45. Like I said, if this were to happen and they do sign Kemba and all that, I definitely could see another Blake Griffin situation where they decide to trade him away and some team takes him, like the Pacers, for instance, or something like that. I don't know. Kevin Love, I don't know if he made a huge difference, but like I said, I think a team might be willing to go after like a team that's ready to give up on a star. I can see the Hornets being aggressive in that situation if they were to bring back Kemba. But other than that, guys, that's really it. Bol Bol 11, 6.5. Those are my prediction for the Hornets and what we might see from them this offseason. It may not be 100% accurate. I did try to give my thoughts on what could happen if not this didn't happen. So the total opposite could have happened. So I didn't know how I wanted to go about this. And next we'll do the Kings. So let me know what you guys thought of the first video. Definitely a lot of fun. I love doing this. Just love talking basketball while I'm playing 2K in the background. I feel like this is more of a talk video than anything. But Philadelphia and Toronto. And we got Houston and Utah. And we got Toronto and Philly. Philly is going to win 6 games, and the 76ers and the Rockets 2-1, 2-2, and the Rockets win the championship. So let me know what you guys thought of the first video. Definitely like if you enjoyed. Crushables, and I'm saying peace.